All right. Hey, happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about don't start a diet in 2025. Whatever you do, if you want to lose weight, please don't start a diet. I was thinking, if you start your keto plan today, I can almost guarantee you're going to be starting your keto plan again next year and the year after and the year after and the year after. If you don't do keto, just substitute Weight Watchers, intermittent fasting, not eating any sugar, whatever diet approach you're going to try and stick to starting today or maybe Monday, whatever your plan is. Please don't do it. I'm trying to save you some time, some energy, some frustration, and help put you on a path that's going to get much better results. And the beginning of making that happen is to realize that doing the same thing you've been doing that hasn't worked is probably not a good strategy moving forward to get the results you want. So if you're starting Weight Watchers for the 50th time, keto for the 30th time, intermittent fasting for the 100th time, it's probably a sign that these things don't work well for you, or at the very least, they don't work well for you the way you've been doing them. And so it doesn't make a lot of sense to go into it with the exact same process you've tried multiple times before that have proven not to work. So what do you do? If you're not going to diet, what do you do? Right. And what I would suggest is that you start to make small, sustainable, intelligent shifts and changes in your behavior that will consistently move you in the direction you want to go in, so that you're not trying to change everything 100% because it's the new year. You're not trying to change everything 100% on Monday. Stop doing that. It doesn't work. It's overwhelming, right? You get freaked out and you can't stick with it. And so the alternative is to start approaching your weight like you would pretty much anything else in your life that you want to get good at. Right? If you want to learn to play the piano, you start practicing 15, 20 minutes a day regularly. You want to start learning a language, you start practicing speaking the language, a certain amount of time a day. Just start doing it immediately, all constantly, right? And so it's the same thing with weight. You've been tricked by the diet industry to think you have to change everything all at once. And it is that thinking that leads to the approach of trying to change everything all at once that causes you to feel overwhelmed ultimately and to just quit. That's what happens, isn't it? And so again, it's an opportunity right now. It's the start of a new year. It's an opportunity to do things in a new way. And recommitting to some old shit ass diet that you've tried 50 times that hasn't worked is not a new way. Okay. So do something different, do something new. And it could be something as simple as just going to the link in my bio and getting the hypnosis session. Maybe you've never tried hypnosis before. Why not give it a shot? It's free. It won't cost you anything. It'll take you 10 minutes and you can experience what that feels like. Maybe you could watch the video I made for you and start to realize that you can actually master your weight. That maybe you've been setting your goal too low. Maybe just wanting to lose weight isn't enough of a goal. Maybe you deserve to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life. And so maybe you'll upgrade your goal. And once you upgrade your goal, I think you'll very quickly realize that dieting's never going to get you there. Dieting's never going to get you to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life. Dieting has a 95% failure rate. So if you get nothing else out of this, let it be this, that whatever you do, please do something different. Ideally, you won't even go near a diet. But if you're committed to diets, then that's what you want to do. Okay, fine. But please at least do the diet differently. Don't jump into it 100% on day one, because you can't keep it up. Start changing things systematically, strategically, so that those shifts and changes can last long term. And then you can start to develop and build and grow on those. And that's the real secret to creating the results you're looking for, so that you won't just lose weight, but more importantly, next year at this time, you'll be able to look at yourself and say, holy shit, look what I've accomplished. My thinking's different, my lifestyle's different, and my weight's different. I eat differently. And I do it naturally and automatically at this point because I strategically developed the skills and ability to do it over the year. I didn't try and do it all at once. And that was the difference that made the difference. So I hope this helps you out. If anyone has any questions, anything they're thinking about New Year, Pop them into the question mark. What's up, Jen? Happy New Year. Jody, how's it going? Yep, I know. I was a little late here. I had a little bit of technical issue, of course. It's been a funny day like that. A bunch of technical issues happened today, but we're lucky I got on here because I had no internet for a little bit there, so I wasn't sure. I don't even know what happened there, but anyways, we're good to go now. We're in. Strap it in on New Year's Day. Talking about wait for as long as we're going to talk about it. What's up, Rachel? How's it going? Rachel in the Thrive program. Nice job. So yes, it's a big day, and I love New Year's. So I didn't really go into the typical New Year's stuff of really setting up some resolutions for yourself, right? But again, I like resolutions. I don't like the way they're done, so I'm a big fan of setting resolutions every month, every week, every year. I love setting resolutions, as I set them as my North Stars. I set them as intentions, whether I achieve them or not, it is really irrelevant. I use it as an opportunity to refocus and kind of get myself clear and then move towards them. So I hope you have set some resolutions and set some goals for yourself this new year. What's up, Katie? Yep. Happy 2025. Hope everyone had a fun night last night. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just getting older or what, but I was thinking that yesterday, like, it's just not, New Year's is not what it used to be. I don't know. Is this just because I'm older? Is it because times are changing? I don't know. Kim said, I started today, no diet, just a change in lifestyle. No, that's wonderful, Kim. I think that's a smarter thing. Now, you still got to be strategic, because again, when it comes to a change in lifestyle, be specific. What are you changing specifically in your lifestyle? Don't make it just some vague thing like, oh, I'm going to exercise more. That's so vague, it'll never last. I'm going to start eating better, So, but great job. I think that's smart. Again, the diet thing is just setting you up for failure. And dieting this year, and I'm curious to if we'll hear from people today, but people that are thinking about starting a diet this year, it's a funny one because what are you going to do? Start your diet on a Wednesday? Are you? Good luck. And then what are you going to do? You're going to wait till Monday, right? Okay, but then Monday, now it's not the first, and now you lose a little bit of that edge. So what I would say, and I don't usually do this, but I'll be very, very blunt and clear here today. I will be promoting my program more than I ever do. And this is the one day of the year I do that, simply because I think it's the best program on the planet. And I think that the way to utilize today, I think the secret about today, January 1st, is a special day. I truly believe this. And I think that the specialness and how you utilize and get the most value out of January 1st is you make a commitment. You make a commitment. You don't commit to like, I'm going to eat better starting right today from now on, because that's bullshit. It's not, I don't give a shit. It's never going to last. But you make a commitment. And ideally, you make a commitment outside of yourself. So again, it doesn't have to be program yourself thin, but make some commitment outside of yourself. Now, the beauty of program yourself thin is you're literally every program you invest in, well, other than the hypnosis one, which is an 8-week program, but starting with the mastery program on, every commitment's a year, because when you get the mastery program, you get lifetime access to the Tuesday calls. And so you have this lifetime support system, and I'm not going to go into lifetimes. Let's just talk about a year. But what it means is that you've got access to probably the most powerful weight mastery system on the planet. But on top of that, you're getting access to live classes for the entire year, so that you're always part of a group. You're always part of a system moving it forward. And so again, it doesn't have to be program yourself thin, but I think the way you make the most out of today is you make some commitment outside of yourself. And that means not just like, oh, I'm going to eat better now this year. I'm going to lose weight this year. That doesn't mean shit until you take an action that's outside of your head. And so I think the secret to using this and setting yourself up for success in 2025 is to make a commitment today. And I've talked to some people that signed up for some of my coaching stuff. And what I would suggest to you is that what happens is you start thinking right today. It's a mind shift, because there is a lot of power when we step into the new year. No question about it. New beginnings have momentum with them. They help our mindset, because it's fresh. It's new. We're thinking the best. We're optimistic. We're hopeful. And so what you want to do is you want to put an anchor in the ground this entire year. This is the mindset you want. Take it or leave it. The mindset you want is for the next year, I'm going to be committed to my weight mastery. I'm going to commit to it for a year, ups, downs, everything. I've got a support system. I've got the training. I've got the whole thing in place. This is what I'm going to do. And I know I'm going to have ups and downs, and I'm going to be able to manage those because I've got a system now that I can rely on. And so look for that. It doesn't have to program yourself in, but find something that's going to be there for you for the rest of the year. And you say, well, a year commitment. What? Why wouldn't you? Where do you want to be next year at this time? Now's the time to think about it. Next year's coming. Where are you going to be? Where were you at last year? You got to learn what works and what doesn't work. And again, resolutions are great. The resolutions aren't the problem. The problem is you have no system to carry them out. And so I'm telling you, the way to make the most out of today, or it just turns another year, another day passes, it gets weaker every day. They're going to feel it. You're just going to feel it. Wait, listen, am I saying this untrue? Because Wednesday's a weird day. Are you jumping into your diet 100% today? No, you're not. Because let's start Monday. Tomorrow's going to come. It's just so what? It's another year. It get weaker every day. It just will. Am I bullshitting you? I don't know. So again, if you really want to tap into and harness the power of the new year, make some commitment to yourself that's going to be long-term, something long-term. And that's my biggest suggestion to you. Yeah, Jen says the faster you lose the weight, the faster you'll gain it back. Agreed. I mean, you all know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I can't tell you the number of people that get hyped up on January 1st and then do their crazy shit for a couple of weeks and then put it all back on. So I don't want that for you. What's up, Peggy? Yep. Happy New Year. Working on hobbies today. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Today's a great day to work on hobbies for sure. What's up, John? John says, feeling great today. The PYT holiday strategy worked great. Now I'm ready to inch my way to my goal weight. No diets anymore. Diets don't work. Very good. This is so fun. It's like, it is funny doing this year after year. Cause it's like, I remember the first year I did this, like, it was kind of new to it, but now it's like a bunch of people in the program are here. It's like they're reinforcing all this message, but great job, John. Yeah. Again, in Program Yourself, then we had a holiday strategy. Does it mean we didn't put weight on? No, I put some weight on. No problem. That's just part of life. Can you imagine that? Again, dieters, you got one mode, you got one gear. You're a one gear car, and it's like you need multiple gears because life requires it. There's just different situations in life. You can't just be this binary person who just flips into I'm perfect eater mode during the holidays. No, you're not. No, you're not going to be. So we need a plan B, plan C, maybe even a plan D. You need more plans than you got, though. I can tell you that because you got no flexibility. But great job, John. Nice job. Now let's see what's going on. Get to some questions. I'm all hyped up. I love New Year's. Annie says, do you do one on alcohol? You know what? I'm going to make a session on alcohol, but I don't actually have to, I don't have an alcohol program, which I should put one together because I used to have an issue with the old binge drinking there years ago. I was able to come up with the same stuff I use for the weight. At the end of the day, everything is run by your mind, so, yeah, there is that, but, I don't have a specific one, but I will make a session for my clients at some point. I'll make an alcohol one because it's, I know it could help you. So that'll be good though. See, Katie says, I worked with Jim one-on-one for 10 weeks, and I'd say it's one of the things I'm most grateful for in 2024. Well, thank you, Katie. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, it's been great working with you, Katie. And especially, I was so proud of you. It's crazy. Yesterday's call, like what you did to me is so groundbreaking, and I know I said it yesterday, but I just want to reinforce that the fact that you're willing to do the difficult things is, again, just proof that you really are an action taker, and I just want to reinforce, I know I said it yesterday, but I've always known that about you, so I was never questioning that. But again, as I said, for Katie and for everyone, the biggest challenge isn't necessarily getting ourselves to take the right actions. It's usually realizing the unhelpful actions we're taking automatically, regularly. And, so it's fascinating like that. But yeah, Katie, very, very proud of what you've done. And I think that it's it's always enjoyable for me to see people have big insights and breakthroughs. And I hope that the most recent one is a huge one for you. I expect it will be. And as I said, the thing I'm most excited for you is to step into the real world, so that you can use your big brain and your action taking abilities, because that's like the thing. Most people I work with, again, are very smart and successful in a lot of areas of their lives. But what happens is we get into modes where we just don't even see reality anymore. We don't see things for what they are. And it's kind of like trying to lose weight in a fun house. Like everything just looks weird. It's just like, it's just distorted. And so for you to realize that big issue, I think it's a really big deal, and I'm proud of you for doing that. And he says, I'll sign up for the alcohol one. Yep. Yeah, I might do. Well, I don't know. I always question that if I'll do like other programs. When I look back and I'm like, on one hand, I've been working on Program Yourself then personally for 30 years. Professionally, I've been doing it actually for 20 years. But it's taken so much work and effort to make it. But on the other side, it's like, I know now how to make a program like that. So can I make one way quicker if I chose to do a different version? Yeah, I could. But the thing with alcohol is I don't really work with other people on that. So that's probably, I probably would never do that just because I don't have that experience. Yvette says, I'm starting my calorie deficit tomorrow. Can you please give the best tips for a beginner? Yeah, let's get into it, because calorie deficit, let's start there. Right now, I like calorie deficit. I'm glad we're kind of kicking this off with calorie deficit, because it's the most agnostic in a sense of all of them, right? In the sense that it's not, calorie deficit can mean anything, So that's the to be honest, that's kind of the problem to start off with those. It's so vague. It's going to be hard to succeed with it. So the best says, I don't want to do a fad diet or binge eat randomly as I've done in the past. Please give me some tips. Yeah. So I'm going to give you some tips. Now, just stick with me for a second though, because the core problem you have is not your ability to reduce calories. That's not the core problem. The core problem is your mindset. It's always the case. Your mindset's the core problem right now. And the core problem that is right in front of you is that you're thinking like a dieter. Even right down to the words calorie deficit, right? Because no one wants to live their life in a deficit. A deficit's not like a thing we aspire to, right? It's less than normal. Okay. And so it feels less than normal. It feels deprived. And so right off the bat, the word calorie deficit is really a term we use in the dieting mindset. Now, the dieting mindset, you have to understand, is all about losing weight. Okay. So dieting is all about losing weight, doing whatever it takes to get to my goal weight. And so because you think of it that way, you think to yourself, okay, I want to get to my goal weight. And the next question is, well, let's do it as fast as possible. And then we think, how can I do it as fast as possible? I'll do the most extreme thing. So I'll cut the calories way down. And this is why usually when people create a calorie deficit, they will very regularly, they're creating 40, 50, 60, 70% of their calories just cutting out, creating a deficit. And so this idea of weight loss is the first problem you all have mindset wise, because you think about weight loss and getting to your goal weight, and you'll do anything it takes to get there quickly. And that's your core problem, because that is not your goal. Your goal is not to get to your goal weight. Your goal is actually to live at your goal weight. These are two completely different things, by the way, because we've all done this. We've all done extreme, drastic things to lose weight and get to the goal weight. But then what happens? People always put the weight back on. And it's because they're fixated on losing the weight, and they never, the maintaining it's an afterthought. But if you really take a step back, what your real goal is to live at your goal weight, not just to get there for a couple days or a couple weeks. And so in order to live at your goal weight, you need completely different strategies. And I would suggest right down to the phrase calorie deficit. I don't use the phrase calorie deficit. I'd rather reframe it as, I'm looking to reduce my average calorie consumption forever. Same but different, right? So again, you may say, oh, it's just semantics. It's not, because conceptually they're completely different. And so anyone can cut their calories down drastically for a little while, but very few people are able to cut their calories down long-term and stick with it. And that's what is the foundational piece of why 95% of dieters that lose weight put it back on. So right from the beginning, what I'm saying to you, Ves, is that you have to set a different goal. And it's the more accurate goal. You don't have to fool yourself, because which would you rather have? Would you rather get to your goal weight, or would you rather live the rest of your life at your goal weight on near autopilot? And the answer is obvious. And so that's the real goal. And that goal is going to require a different strategy. Because if we want to live at our goal weight for the rest of our lives on near autopilot, we can't do drastic things that make us feel deprived and stress us out and freak us out and overwhelm us, because you won't stick with it. So we need to figure out strategies that are comfortable. And so when I say on autopilot, I really mean that, because most of our brain is running on autopilot anyways. The thing is, we never use that part of our mind when we want to lose weight. So dieters are always trying to consciously control every little thing they do, reduce their calories, create a deficit, eat less. And again, you can do that for a little while, but then you get burnt out and you go back into what? Your regular behaviors, your normal behaviors. So that's kind of the beginning part, that the goal is different. And once you realize it's a different goal, you're going to have to do different things. And one of the core things you're going to have to do is change your self-image. How do you think about yourself? How do you identify yourself? And there's a good chance that right now you identify yourself as an overweight person, an overeater, a sweetaholic, no self-control. You probably have some very limiting beliefs that you define yourself with. And so those have got to be addressed and dealt with on some level, don't you think? So again, I don't want to overwhelm you with all this stuff. What I would suggest at this point is go click the link in my bio and go get the hypnosis session I gave you. That's what I would suggest starting with. I would start with learning how to relax and calm down and start thinking better. And right now you don't know how to do that. And so the hypnosis session will help you do it. It's free. And then I made a video for you, and that'll kind of walk you through this approach in a little more detail. And then if you're really serious about mastering weight and you have the ability to invest, you can go to programyourselfthin.com, and I'm running a special right now. So you can get the hypnosis program. It's $100. And this is it. This is the last time you're going to get this. I'm doing it this last time, New Year's special. And then the prices are going up. It's $200 for the hypnosis, $500 for the mastery program. But for right now, it's still, I'll offer it one last time. But anyway, so that'd be my suggestion, that, because fad diet and trying to stop yourself ain't going to do it, most likely. You need a more robust strategy, of course. It's not a crazy idea either. Yeah, Beth says, I find a lot of pleasure in eating, unfortunately, and at the same time, I'm very unhappy with my weight. Yeah. I just want to do anything extreme. Just want to live like a regular human who doesn't overeat. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I'd love to be a normal person. Yeah, I love eating too. You know what I mean? It's not, I know people say that sometimes and they say, well, I love eating. I love eating. And I loved eating back when I was eating like really crazy. I loved eating, and I love eating now. But now I love eating, and I love the body I have, and I love how I feel. And I love how I live. So I'm getting more love. There's more things I love in my life now than before when I just had the food, because this is a trap a lot of people fall into. I love eating, but you take a step back, and if you really reflect on the eating, because here's another tip for you. There's 3 phases of eating. There's the anticipation, consumption, consequence. And in our culture, we have been conditioned since birth to focus on the anticipation and consumption of food. Never mind the consequence. Forget that. And so this, I love eating, that's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit when you zoom out and look at the big picture. Do you love being overweight? Do you love feeling like shit about yourself? Do you love having health issues? Do you love feeling stuffed and full? No. And that starts to become the majority of your life, because the anticipation and consumption phase is this big and the consequence phase is this big. It starts 5 seconds after you take your last bite. So it's a hypnotic suggestion that you've been implanted in your mind. Oh, I love eating. I love food. I love eating. Yeah, so do I. But I love my body more. I love being healthy more. I like being in control more. And I love the food. You see, so I'm getting more pleasure. And that's the secret. Again, dieters are going to start their bullshit diets today just steeped in misery and deprivation and feeling like it sucks, right? Whereas people that start programming themselves, then you start off feeling more pleasure instantly. And the instant pleasure comes from relaxing. I've never had a person start the program that didn't need some relaxation in their lives more. So that's where your weight mastery starts from, is being more relaxed and calm. I don't even know you, and I know that one of the main things that triggers your binge eating is when you're stressed out and emotional. Doesn't take a genius to know that. Everyone knows that, but no one seems to have a solution to it, which is kind of weird. And so I would suggest the solution that may work for you if you're a stress eater would be to relax, be more relaxed. Well, I'm not a relaxed person. Well, do you practice? You know, it's a skill. If you don't practice, you're not going to be able to do it. So hope that helps out. I hate the feeling of being stuffed, and at the end of the day, and the day after overeating, it feels terrible. I think one of my problems is thinking I'm missing out on eating. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. But remember, everything's good and bad. It depends where our focus is at. And in this culture, we've been conditioned to focus on the anticipation and consumption of food. And so when people go on a diet, and even the diets, again, the diets are all bullshit, folks. You know, like the diets and what you're thinking about in terms of how to lose weight has all been put there by big old food companies. You say, what are you talking about? I listen to diets. Yeah. Weight Watchers was owned by Heinz. Jenny Craig was owned by Nestle. Atkins Food Products owned by the same company owns Cinnabon and Auntie Anne's Pretzels. Slim Fast owned by the same company as Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream. So these companies do you really think they want you to lose weight and not eat their shitty foods? Dieting is a bunch of bullshit. And it's a bunch of bullshit on multiple levels. Mindset, and just on and on. Strategically, it's bullshit. And so, yeah, the idea that you think you're missing out on eating, I get it, because you've been conditioned to focus on the food. But what you have not been conditioned to focus on is the big consequence that the foods has on you. And you have a generalized sense of, I don't like being overweight. But I always put it this way. The pain all of you feel from being overweight is a chronic dull pain. It's the equivalent of having a backpack full of bricks. It's heavy and you're slumped over and, oh God, this is heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy, but you're used to it. So you don't take any action to fix it. Whereas if we sharpen that pain to the point of a knife, if we make it an acute sharp pain, I poke you in the side of your ribs with a knife point, you don't, ow, it hurts. No. Ow, enough. Right? So pain's relative and it depends how we think about it. But you're so fixated on the food that losing weight to you, the weight loss and all the benefits are in the background, and all you can pay attention to is, oh, no, my favorite food. Oh, shit. And that's how you're all about to feel. All you dieters, get ready for that feeling. Get ready for that feeling, dieters. What are you going to do? Do you not think that feeling's going to come? That's why you're not starting today, probably. And if you're starting today, let me know how Friday goes. Because get ready for it. And now your brain's just steeped in bullshit from the last 6 weeks of bullshit eating, 6 months. Because I do this all year. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I run stuff constantly. So I see the patterns. I see the cultural patterns. And what you might be surprised to notice, maybe not. Most people check out in September. Most people quit their weight loss in September. That's it. Summer's over. Got through bathing suit season. Fuck it. Who cares now? I'll start in January. So for most dieters, it's 4 or 5 months of bullshit eating, not just the holidays. So yeah. So you think 4 or 5 months of bullshit eating, and now what? Oh, bippity bap, snappity snip. It's a new year, new me. What? No, it's not. Same fucking brain, same body, same cravings for food, same mindset obsessed with food. And start your diet today. Stop eating fucking carbs. Start counting your points, whatever it is you're going to do with no mindset support. And you know what you're going to feel? I can't have I haven't eaten cookies. I can't have cookies. I can't have sugar. I can't have pizza. I can't have this. I can't have that. I can't. Oh God. I quit. In a nutshell. Is it not going to be like that? Do you think it's not going to be like that for you? Why? Because it's 2025? Because what? Why wouldn't it be like that for you? Is that not the main problem you got to somehow overcome? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? We gotta take a step back and look at the big picture here. You know, so I get it. We focus on the food that we can't eat anymore and we get feeling deprived, but we don't focus on all the pain the food is causing us. The nonstop negative mindset. Oh, the fucking negative stuff you say to yourself. Oh, I'm a loser, shitty person. Why are you so lazy? Why are you so stupid? You fat, miserable, you mean, feeling like shit, physically tired, uncomfortable, no stamina, no flexibility. right? And so you don't focus on that though. You've learned to ignore that because we've been raised by corporations. Most of them are food corporations. And so they get us fixated on food, and they've trained us to not pay attention to the consequences of the food. This is why 75% of the population is overweight or obese in America right now. 75%. Oh, it's my genes. Yeah, well, 100 years ago, it was 20%. The genes don't change that fast. So again, how do we get results like that? You infect people's minds to think like overweight people, because overweight people make companies a lot of money. Being overweight it's one of, they're fleecing you left and right. So again, there's a lot of motivation to condition you to think like an overweight person, is what I'm saying, to think like a dieter. There's a lot of money in it. So if you're wondering why you think that way, again, it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's because you've been literally programmed, conditioned, trained to think this way. Now you're trapped in it. JK says, could use some more input on picking my goal weight right now. It's just a nebulous number. I'm told that with FOSS, the more specific, the better, right? Specific goal weight. Yeah, I mean, but John, yeah, it's, again, the goal weight, it's really important. It really is important to choose a goal weight, but you got to give that goal weight a lot of meaning. And so it's the meaning piece of it. So what do you get? And I don't know where you're at with your goal weight, but you start with where you're at now, whatever, because I know you've lost some weight and I forget where you're at, but whatever weight you're at now, okay, take stock of where you're at and then consider what's the goal weight compared to where you're at now, and then reflect on what the differences are going to be, because whatever benefits you get out of the weight going down are going to have to be big enough to make up for the lack of pleasure, the reduction in pleasure you're going to create for yourself, the extra difficulty in changing your behaviors you're going to make, right? So why do you want to weigh that number? I want to weigh my goal weight because I think the weight that I'm at is the number that's going to give me the best chance of living the longest and have the best quality of life while I'm here. That's the core base reason. And I can build all the reasons on top of it. But the core reason is I believe the weight that I'm at right now is the weight that is most statistically going to give me the best chance of living the longest. And it's the weight where I have the best quality of life. I like feeling light. I love feeling light. I'm addicted to it. And so I don't want to be too light, right? And I don't want to be too heavy. I like that it's Goldilocks. That's right in the middle. And so to figure that out sometimes takes a little bit, I've been heavier, I've been lighter. This is the sweet spot I love being. And again, it's not just the number I like being, it's also the lifestyle and the way I have to eat in order to achieve that number. And I found this sweet spot where my quality of life is at the maximum. I'm getting the highest return on investment. For the energy I put into managing my weight, this is the sweet spot. So I hope that makes sense. And as I said, I am going to help you out with that all specifically in the new year. I do have Gym AI, which is a literal AI clone of me. It's crazy. And everyone's going to get that. I'm going to, the next month or so. That's one of the things I'm going to do to promote my app is I will give that. It'll be, you'll be able to work with Gym AI for free to help you determine your goal weight. But you'll have to do it in the app. It's just not set up yet though. So, but you guys, their customers will get first dibs at that. Anyways, what's up, Vicky? Vicky says, managing your weight that she feel better to physically and mentally helps you feel better. Yeah, of course. PYT gives me the support system ongoing I need. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what Program Yourself Thin's there for. I mean, it is a lot of knowledge and resources, but at the end of the day, I think it's ultimately support is probably the most important factor. Yeah, I think so. Haley says, I've lost 4 stones, but I've slowly started putting it back on. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, I get it, Haley. That's literally why I do this. This is literally why I do this, is because of the mental, emotional pain people are in because of the weight, whether they can't lose it or they lost and then put it back on, which is the worst. The people out there that are frustrated they're not losing weight, understand that's not the most painful thing. The most painful thing is when you lose a bunch of weight and then put it back on. That's the worst thing. And most people can deal with that a couple times before they just get so apathetic they just quit for good, which is where a lot of my clients kind of come to me at. They've tried diets, they've succeeded with them a couple of times, but then they put the weight back on. And then that's the worst spot to be, because now subconsciously you associate failure to even when you lose weight. You've lost weight and then gained it back 3 times. Now the 4th time you start losing weight, your mind says, "Ah, gives a shit. We're going to put it all back on anyways." That's pretty much the worst spot you can be in, Because then you say, it doesn't matter what I do, I can't succeed. So what's the point? And that's the worst spot you can be. That's pretty much the definition of failure with weight loss right there. And so again, the key thing though is to learn from that, right, Haley? It's to learn. You slowly started putting it back on. And again, I'm going to tell you all something. Change your language. You don't gain weight. You don't lose weight. You can't gain weight. You can't lose weight. No, you can't. Show me how. Go ahead. Lose weight right now. Go ahead. Lose weight. Let me see you. Go ahead. Lose some weight. But you can't, right? What can you do? You can eat better. You can live healthier. And then time passes and through some magical process, your weight goes down. So you have no control. It's cause and effect. Your weight is a reflection of your eating and your lifestyle. And so you don't gain weight. You eat more. And this is very clarifying, Haley. And this might be the beginning of you getting a handle back on it again. You're not slowly putting weight back on. You're slowly eating more. Does that make sense? And that's the challenge. And when we frame things as it's slowly started putting it back on, we disconnect ourselves. We disassociate from the process that's making that happen. You see? And it confuses our subconscious brain because now we feel like we're not the one doing it. So instead, I would want to be saying, I'm eating more. My weight's going up because I'm eating more. That's a very clear thing to say. Now you're saying, oh, where am I eating more? What's different between when I was losing weight and what I'm doing now to gain weight? What changed? It's going to be the calorie consumption is what's changed, but you got to recognize where, how. Maybe your portions increased, you didn't realize it. Maybe all of a sudden you started going, to your friend's house twice a week and eating cookies. It could be any number of things that you've overlooked perhaps, but you made crystal clear that you didn't gain weight. You didn't lose weight. You ate more, you ate less. And it's a very clarifying concept that can really make quite the difference for you. So hopefully that helps you get yourself back on track. Carrie says, I try to tell myself I know what that tastes like and pass on it. Yeah, sure. And I'll tell you what I do when I want to skip a food. What I do is I go right to the consequence. And if I'm tempted by something that I don't know. Because listen, most of the stuff that's not good for your weight is stuff that it's not really good for you. And so I don't know if I'm like, oh, I should have a bag of chips. I'll be like, oh, how will I feel 5 seconds after I finish eating them? So I would suggest using that one, Carrie, as well. Is that the chips taste good, but how will I feel as soon as I finish that last chip? How will I feel physically, mentally, emotionally? I like the cookies. The cookies taste good, but when I'm finished with the cookies, how am I going to feel physically, mentally, emotionally? I'll pay attention to that. And I think that's the secret to really changing your eating, because what it does is when you focus on the consequence is real. That like as soon as you're done, how are you going to feel? See, with the consequence, a lot of people focus on and say, oh, I don't want to eat the ice cream because I'm going to gain weight. But in their mind, it's like, I'm going to gain weight somewhere in the future. It's so vague and undefined that your brain says, who gives a shit? We'll just start eating better tomorrow and we'll never gain weight. So your mind can trick you with that. But if you start saying, how will I feel 5 seconds after I finish? There's no avoiding that. And it's right there. It's right there on the other side of the eating. And when you start fixating on that, it's right there. Listen, you already do this. If I said, hey, let's go on a shopping spree. Are you just going to go on a shopping spree? Why not? Shopping sprees are fun, aren't they? Why not? Why would you not go? Don't you love shopping? Don't you get new stuff that you love? Well, no, you say no because why? Because your brain automatically goes to the consequence. I'm going to pay the bill. I'm not going to make money. And you say no. So, hey, let's do some hard substances. We'll party it up. And your brain says, no, I don't want to. Why? Because it goes right to the consequence. Now, so here's a pizza. Ooh. What consequence you got? Oh, some vague, I might gain weight somewhere in the future. That ain't it. The consequences are right on the other side. Is like, oh man, if I start eating pizza, I eat all the pizza. And then when I finish eating the pizza, I feel like shit every time. I feel full. I start beating myself up. I feel negative. I feel, that's the secret. You start focusing on and it's right there. And it was, you don't do it, but you don't do it because you've never learned how to do it. You've never learned how to run your brain like a thin, healthy person, folks. You've been conditioned your entire life. So as I, all of us have been conditioned our entire lives to be overweight people. Do you not believe that? You know how much money's made on selling us food, medicines, weight loss services. You know how much money revolves around people overeating, being overweight? It's a huge profit center. Enormous, enormous. I've never even seen a number that could encapsulate all of it because it's so, it's across so many different, business models, but it's a lot, and so there's a lot of, again, what I'm trying to say is there's a huge invisible force constantly working on you to get you to be overweight. That's never defined. And what it does is it affects your mindset. You've got the mindset of an overweight person. And how the fuck are you going to have a mindset of an overweight person and then be thin and healthy? How you explain that to me? How does that work? Exactly. It's like saying I got the mindset of an English speaker, but I'm going to speak Chinese. I mean, you can learn to speak Chinese. You know what I mean? You can learn to develop the mindset of that. You can go live in China. You can take Chinese classes, but you got to learn. You can't just tomorrow I'm going to be a Chinese speaker because it's the fucking new year. What's that? That make it tomorrow I'm a great piano player because it's the new year, new me. So I'm a great piano player tomorrow. Huh? Doesn't make any sense. So here you are with your diets. You're not learning anything new. What are you doing? You're just activating the same dumb pattern that hasn't worked for you 100 other times. So the secret is to learn. You need new information in your head. That's the secret. Yeah, Vicky says PYT's Weight Mastery College and graduate studies. I would agree with that. I would agree. It's real information. Shab says me a smiley face. Thank you. Saw says eating make me feel good even though it hurt me in my body. Yeah, no, I get that. But again, listen, lots of things can make you feel good. You think food's the only thing that can make you feel good for a moment? There's lots of substances in the world that you could take into your body right now and feel good for a moment and then not feel so good ultimately. And we're constantly with those substances, we're almost always conditioned to focus on the consequence. But then there's food. You say, don't worry about the consequence. Let's just focus on the eating. Yum, yum, yum. Imagine on your tongue, imagine it on your tongue, imagine on your tongue, imagine on your tongue, imagine on thousands of times a day. And you wonder why you're struggling, What's up, Santina? I found not starting the day with caffeine and start the morning with your hypnosis is a game changer. Yeah, that's amazing. Of course, right? That's a double doozy. That's a double dipper. That's great, right? Because you get rid of one source of stress and kind of tension, and then you deepen your relaxation on top of it. So that's a twofer. That's wonderful, Santina. And of course, that's going to make a huge difference. So yeah, I mean, again, in Program Yourself Thin, the core of the hypnosis program is the core thing you use because it just changes you. All you got to do is sit your ass down for 5 minutes, listen to the morning session and listen to the 10-minute session at night. And I'll do the rest of the work with the hypnosis. Again, if you want to master your weight long-term, you gotta know what you're doing. But I can make you lose weight. It's the easiest weight loss on the planet. And I guarantee it. It's $97. I mean, it's the number one hypnosis program on the planet. I know this. I've been doing this for 20 years. I say this every year. I say not every year, but every a lot of these podcasts is that if you find a hypnosis program that's more comprehensive than Program Yourself Thin, I will give you $100. I'll give you $200. If you find one that's more comprehensive, you don't have to buy anything. Just go find it, shoot it to me. I'll give you $200. I'll save you some time. You're not going to find it. There's no program out there like this. So again, when you start putting good stuff into your head, when you start feeling better in your body, you start to make better choices. And that's the part of things that no one ever talks about. Because you as a dieter just think, well, what? There's some flip you just switched because it's a new year. And so you flip some switch and now what? What? It's the magical Monday thing on steroids. And I love January 1st. I love the new year. I love the momentum of it, but I love it in terms of being fucking strategic and being smart, not imagining it's some fairy tale day where everything changes all of a sudden. You're just wake up as a different person. I mean, what are we doing? So again, you got to be intelligent with it. But I think again, the hypnosis is part of the foundation of it because it bookends your day with calm relaxation where you're putting positive stuff in your mind. And these are two things you're not getting in your life at all right now. You're not calm and relaxed. You're never getting a chance to be calm and relaxed. And you never get good positive messages put into your mind when it comes to health and your weight. And so Program Yourself Thin, each morning's a different, the hypnosis sessions are built around a mantra. So each session's built around a weight loss mantra. And what happens is that's how we think. We think in mantras. And so by the end of the program, you've got 65 weight loss mantras just rumbling around in your head. And people say it's like they pop into your head at the opportune times. That's how it works. It works the same way the other direction. It's working now on you with the food because every commercial you see is a hypnosis session. Yes, it is. I promise you. I'm a master hypnotist. I've been doing this for 30 years. I promise you, every TV commercial is a hypnosis session. And I hate to say this, but to be honest, it's more powerful hypnosis than I can do. They've got resources I don't have the ability to have. But every commercial says a hypnosis session, getting you to be hypnotized to eat the shitty food, to be obsessed with it, to think about it constantly, to overeat it, to binge it, to be, just constantly focused on it. So we got to break that trance. We got to break the food trance. We got to break the fucking dieting trance. And now you've got a chance to actually master your weight. And again, let me state it one more time. What's weight mastery? It's a completely different concept. It's not weight loss. Weight loss, you don't want to lose weight. No, you don't. You want to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on near autopilot. Please upgrade your goal. And I just want to point out that as obsessed as you are with your weight, and for as long as you've been obsessed, you've never once gotten within 2,000 feet of that goal. You've never once said to yourself, yeah, my goal is not to lose weight. My goal is to get to my goal weight and then live the rest of my life at my goal weight on near autopilot so I can enjoy my life as much as I possibly can. You've never even once gotten close to that goal. Why? Because you've been conditioned to think like a dieter. Again, you know how much money is made out of dieters? Dieting industry alone is a $65 billion a year industry. That's just the dieting. What do you think the food industry, the selling all the shit that makes you overweight in the first place? I don't even know what that number would be. 200 billion? What's the market for insulin and weight-related medicines and treatments? Hip replacements, knee replacements, insulin injections. It's just, again, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy nut, but I mean, come on now. Again, you don't get 75% of the population obese and overweight accidentally. It doesn't just magically happen, folks. There's a lot of energy being put into this. So you're going to have a much more robust strategy than just, oh, it's a new year, so now I'm just going to force myself to act different. It's like bringing a stick to a bazooka fight. Your willpower is not up to the task, just so you know. That's why dieting doesn't work. It's not that the diets specifically don't work, because pretty much any diet that you actually follow to the letter, you'd lose weight. The problem, again, becomes that you don't want to follow these diets. They're miserable. They're not built for your long-term success. What's up, Sa? Love from France, by the way. Nice. Mess. Everything you say is true. Thank you. It's been my whole life. Yeah, it's hard when it's all your whole life, for sure. Bippity bap. Dakin says, do you recommend water fasting once every 3 days and in between eating balanced? No, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that at all, because this is what I'm talking about. Dieters, you know what the thing with a dieter is they live in fucking fantasy land. It's fantasy land where it's all written down on paper. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna water fast these days, so that'll be 0 calories. And then on these days, I'm gonna eat a balanced, what's the word they always use? I forget the word now. I'm thinking, but basically, I'm gonna have a balanced, moderate meal here, and then I'll 0 calories here, and then 1,000 calories here. And it's like on paper, it's like, oh, this is the fuck. I got it. I got the plan. I got it. This is genius. But let me know how that goes in real life. You let me know. Let me know after you fast. After you water fast. Let me know how your eating goes the next day. After a week of it. Okay, your first week, yeah, you're all fired up and excited. Fine. Let me know the second week. Let me know how that day after the water fasting goes. Let me know how balanced it is. Think about it. I mean, by definition, I'm not picking on you, by the way. I want to make it crystal clear. I know it sounds like that, but I'm not. I'm picking on these ideas. We've been sold a bunch of bullshit. And this is right at the top of the list, because I can't speak for you. Now, listen, you might be one of the outlier people who water fast and feels absolutely amazing. You might water fast and feel stuffed. You might feel full. So I couldn't eat another bite. Couldn't drink another glass. I'm stuffed. And then the day to eat balance comes and you're calm, relaxed, you feel stuffed and you're full and everything, and you eat a balanced meal and great. And then you go back to your water. Oh, I'm so full. It might be you. So there's a lot of people out in the world. Okay. But I can tell you my experience because I've done it. And what happens is you water fast. And I'm going to go to the second week. Okay. Not the first week, water fast. Well, this isn't so bad. I can do this. Oh, I'm going to lose weight quick. Oh, a balanced meal. Okay. I ate a balanced meal. Right. The second week, now it's like the day before the water fast. And you're like, oh, fuck. Oh God, I can't eat tomorrow. I'm not going to eat tomorrow. Ugh, oh shit. And then the day comes and it's like, okay, no food today, just water. I'm just going to drink water today. Today's my water day. Oh, I can't have this. And no cookies. No, we're not going to have a sandwich. No, what we get for lunch? Nothing. Oh God. Oh, water. All right. But you get through it. Okay. And now the next day starts and it's balance day. And now I'll tell you my experience. I'm fucking starving. I'm starving. I've been thinking about food nonstop for 48 straight hours. Balance day. Yeah, you know how balance day goes when I'm in that mode? Balance how much food I can hold on my tongue at a moment. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe it. And so for me anyways, whenever times I did fasting, intense fasting, it was a great way to get absolutely obsessed with food. So, go test it out. You know what I mean? The golden rule of programming yourself thin is no right or wrong. Is only what works for you. But I would find the vast majority of people that try water fasting every 3 days and then eating balanced end up binging on those balanced days and dread the water fasting and don't want to do it and quit. So I'll put my money on that outcome. And feel free to pop in here and prove me wrong. Again, there's always someone that can do it. You know what I mean? But that's the diet industry. A diet industry is built around outliers. Do you know that? The whole diet industry is built around the 5% of people that lose weight. And they don't even keep it off, by the way. That part's bullshit too. But the people that get like just crazy results that just really, they got a fucking wedding coming up, photos coming up, just some big event. I'm turning 50, some big things coming up and they get crazy results. But no one ever sticks with the results because again, losing weight and maintaining are two worlds apart. And again, you dieters don't give a shit about maintaining. You treat it as an afterthought, which is why you're all overweight. But that's another story. But anyways, again, what are you going to water fast for the rest of your life? You're not. So again, I just don't think it's not a strategy I would invest in because it's a low percentage chance of working. So I'm a big fan of high percentage things. I like things that have a high percentage chance of working. That's why dieting's not too great. It's got a 5% chance of success. For me, that's not a number I'm willing to invest a lot in. What's up, Julie? Julie says, I really want to feel good and still eat good food. So I really do think twice before eating processed sugary food now. That's great, Julie. Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm suffering. Yeah, exactly, Julie, because Julie's in the program. So she's changing her mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't think the same way about sugar and fast food and junk food. You can't think the same way about it and then just eat less of it. That's a dieting mindset. And of course, the diets they don't want you to change your mindset because they don't want you to think differently about processed food. Because the processed food companies are the ones that own the fucking diets. Do you get it? It's not complicated. If you own Doritos and you had a diet, would you make a diet about not eating Doritos? So, you ever notice that there's very few diets that really are fixated on not eating processed food? What popular diet is doing that? They give it lip service. But every diet's built around, you can eat your favorite foods and still lose weight. Yeah, because they don't want to focus you on the junk food and the bullshit in the food because those are the companies. So, you need to have a mindset shift if you're going to eat different. And so I tell people this all the time. The reason I'm in control of my weight, and by the way, I lost 50 pounds and I've maintained that for 30 years. I had one blip 12 years ago. It's my mindset's doing the heavy lifting. It's not a willpower exercise for me. I don't have a lot of willpower. I'm not a person who has a ton of willpower. I'm a person who knows how to change their mindset. Think of it this way. You're probably a non-smoker. If you're a smoker, you're probably not a hard substance abuser. Okay. And is it because you're constantly fighting off cravings for cigarettes and substances? Right? If you're a non-smoker, you kind of, I can't, no, not today. I'm not going to have a cigarette. I'm not going to have a cigarette. You don't think that way. Your mindset says a cigarette's disgusting. I don't want one. That's doing the heavy lifting for you. So you're not relying on your willpower when it comes to cigarettes. Why? Because your mindset is such that it thinks of cigarettes as being gross. That's doing the heavy lifting for you. Well, you can do the same thing with food. It's a little bit different, but it's the same kind of idea. You know? What's up, Deb? Happy New Year. Message, yes, that's why you have to eat everything but less than a normal amount. Yes, exactly. Nancy says, I'm 15 pounds from goal. These last pounds are hard to lose. They are harder to lose. There's no question about that. As you get closer to your goal weight, it's usually harder to lose the last 5 pounds than to lose the first 5 pounds. I would suggest that that's pretty true. But again, it's funny. I'll tell you another one, like even just the framing of that and the idea of like losing the weight, you know what I mean? Like that's just not that motivating of a goal, you know? So again, they're saying like, I got 15 pounds left to lose, 15 pounds left to lose, 15 pounds left to lose. And it makes it feel like you're just this far away from the end goal, but you're not, because you want to stay at that weight forever. Right. So I would be like, whatever goal weight you're at, whatever number that would be, that's 15 pounds lighter, I would be like, I'm 15 pounds away from X, my goal weight, X weight amount of pounds. And at that weight, what? So it's like, if we just focus on losing the weight, yeah, this gets on the whole mindset of weight loss in general anyways, because what our nervous systems aren't as motivated by the potential of losing something as the potential of gaining something. Right. So this is a big problem a lot of dieters have, is that their goal weight doesn't really mean a lot to them. And I can kind of see that with Nancy here even, right? And so Nancy, it sounds like, has been successful losing weight. Okay, successfully losing weight. But it's all, the whole goal, the whole time, the fixation was on the amount of weight you want to lose. Not on the weight you want to be. Not on the person you want to be. This is a good time to talk about, again, Program Yourself Thin. We take our weight loss and we wrap it in personal development. So the whole process isn't just about losing a certain amount of weight. Because what's happening, Nancy, I will tell you, and you're lucky it's hard right now because you need to shift your mindset. I will let you know this. Because what dieters use as their main motivation to get to the goal weight is, I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. I just want to lose weight. I just want to get that goal weight. I just want to get that goal weight. I just want to get that goal weight. And what happens is they start to create this magical thinking, this fairy tale story. The once I get to my goal weight, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. Everything's going to look great on me. I'm going to feel amazing. Everyone's going to love me. Blah, 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 all this stuff. Then we get to the goal weight and it's never as good as we thought it was going to be. That's just life. That's being a human. Very rarely our experience is as good as we thought they were going to be. And certainly with weight loss, because you'll get to your goal weight and now it'll be like, oh, I still don't like how my ass looks. There's a wrinkle. You're still going to have a lot of the same bullshit you've been dealing with. It's still going to be there. And now there's not the excitement of saying, oh, what's it going to be like when I get to my goal weight? Now you're there. So now you don't have that to look forward to. So now you got to ask yourself the question, where is the motivation going to come from now? Because most of the motivation for dieters comes from the excitement, the anticipation of getting to that goal weight. But the same problem is that 95% of dieters put the weight back on. And I believe a huge part of that is because their goal is gone now. I got to my goal weight. And so they don't give that goal weight enough value. You want to ask me, why do I want to be at my goal weight? I could talk for hours about why I love living at this goal weight, the person I love being to be at this weight. So it's not about the weight I lost. It's about the person I am. And so it honestly, you know what ends up happening? I say to people all the time, like, you're going to habituate to your goal weight, by the way. It's just like, once you get to it, it's not as exciting anymore. I know you can't believe that, but think about electricity. You got electricity. You never give thanks for electricity. You take it completely for granted because we take things we have for granted. I've been at the same weight for 30 years. So it's like, it's not enough just to focus on weight loss and a number. It's got to mean more to you. And I think that's a key part of this whole process, is having a really high level goal, which is why one of the first things we do in the program is talk about motivation, because most dieters aren't even motivated. I believe you all weigh what you want to weigh. Subconsciously. I know consciously you want to weigh less, but I think subconsciously you weigh exactly what you want to weigh. And you're in control of your behaviors. You can do what you want. And so I think that the core reason why people are struggling with their weight first and foremost is they're not even motivated. And you're not motivated, you don't even know how to motivate yourself. But anyway, just some thoughts on that. Carrie says, can't wait to talk to Jim AI. Yeah, Jim AI is awesome. Carrie, you're in the program. Right? Oh, you know what though? If yeah, Jim AI, it's been, I would say it was kind of in beta testing a little bit, but it's ready to go and it's only gonna get better. I've been doing so much stuff the last month or two. Probably I can officially say I bit off a little too much the last 2 months. But it's all gonna be worth it. But anyways, Jim AI is there. And again, I've been doing my app, if you know about that, it's Circle app right now. It's got to be program yourself. Then I can't wait. That's really exciting for me in the new year here. It's a fun new year coming for me as well here. I'm so excited. But anyways, if you're in the Thrive program, you got access to Jim AI. If you are part of the offer today, again, this shit is crazy. Is that if you get the it's $297 for my mastery program again. And I literally, I don't want to get into this, but I do private coaching and it's 25 grand to work with me, and people invest a lot of money to work with me, so it's like to do the coaching program. So I'm in the mindset of, and I'm the same way. I've spent over 100 grand on programs and investing in myself. So I am a big believer that investment creates commitment, and so, but I also understand there's people that just don't have those resources. And my mission in life is to help as many people as possible live at their goal weight. That's why I do this podcast every day, every month, every weekday. And, so with the program, I've created different levels now. I didn't want to just do private coaching because I wanted to help more people. So I do have it, and I got these other versions of it. But I will tell you that it's the PYT Mastery program right now for $300. It's underpriced. I'm just gonna be honest. It's underpriced, which it annoys me because I just know that I know through experience people they value what they invest in. I hate to tell you, I've given the program away for free before, and I can see what people do with it. And what they do most of the times, they don't use it. And then I see people invest a lot of money. It's difficult for them sometimes, and they show up and get amazing results. And that's the pattern. There's always outliers, but anyways, so right now the mastery program, if you've been thinking about getting it, I would suggest it because I'm putting up to $500. It's gonna be $500 from now on. But what you get with it is you get everything. You get the hypnosis for 8 weeks. You get the program yourself then technique, the mastery blueprints. You get every Tuesday, there's a live call forever. Forever you get access to this live call. So it's like you fall off a little bit, you want to get back into it. You can always get on there, ask me questions. Just keeps you engaged with it. You get the app. The app it's kind of in its beta version right now, but it's ready to go. So you get in there, you can start using that. You get Jim AI, which is like being able to work with me 24 hours a day. For 8 weeks, you get free access to that. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyways, so Jen says, is the $49 per month Thrive program going away? No, Jen, it's not. And congratulations, Jen, because you took action when that offer came. Now you get the access to the coaching calls on Mondays. So I'm proud of you for taking action. Yeah. And all those of you that took action with the Thrive program in the end of November, congrats. You just got yourselves basically $500-$600 off. So nice job. I'm proud of you. And that's what I'll say to all you take action today. And those of you that don't, I don't know what I can do. I've had it. I'm not selling this program so cheap anymore. I'm just not doing it. It doesn't make me feel good. And I know if people have financial issues, you can write to me, but I don't like selling it that cheap. Yeah. Vicky, who is an expert weight masterer, I would say, says that the biggest fallacy is that there's an end goal, which is what diets perpetuate. Yes, exactly. There is no end goal, folks. I mean, you dieters, getting to the goal weight, how long you want to stay there for? I can hear you saying forever, but you never think about that. Think about that. You never really invest much energy into your maintenance. You never think about it. You just treat it as an afterthought, which is why you're not able to do it. You haven't given it the respect it deserves, the energy it deserves. Yeah. Again, Vicky's a master. She was a Weight Watchers. I forget what they call it now, but it's like a lifetime member because she lost weight and was keeping it off. So she knows how to commit. She knows to invest in herself. She's in the PYT now, and she's in the Thrive program, and so she knows the importance of investing in yourself, investing in a support system. And again, this brings me to a point. I will tell you this while I'm on the topic of value. Americans especially, we have been conditioned to undervalue our health. That's what, again, fucking irritating it is. I shouldn't say this stuff, but it's annoying. It's annoying to me that like, oh, if a hypnosis program for it's $100, it's too little because I don't even, again, but I know like there's people financially that's the only thing they can do. So I do it, but it's like, if you're like, oh, $300 for that, like $300 for my health and my weight. Like if you don't think it's worth $300, again, it just comes back to the core point that you weigh what you want to weigh. You don't even want to lose weight, most likely. Most likely you'd like to lose weight if it was really easy and magically could happen, but you wouldn't even invest $300. You wouldn't invest, 10 minutes a day to it, most people, because it's not that important to them, And so we've just been conditioned. I mean, how do you invest in your health? What do you do? Do you even do to invest in yourself? A gym, Weight Watchers? It's a shit ass investments. They're real low level investments. What do you want from me? Are they not? I don't know. Again, in my world, people invest a whole lot too. So I know I live a little bit of an outlier in that sense, but I don't know. I look at my own life, all the money I've invested in myself, like well over $100,000. Not when I had any money either, too, by the way. I have multiple times invested in myself when it was really, really difficult. And every single time it's been worth it for me. Even the shitty programs. I've invested in programs that I haven't gotten the return at all, but I always learned something from them. I always grow. I always hit another level. And I believe that to my core. And, that started with college. With college, that's the investment. That's the way you got to be thinking about with your weight anyways. Not this magical dumb shit diet thinking diet thinking is just magical thinking. Prove to me it's not. Prove to me it's not. Tell me your plan to lose weight. If you're planning on using a diet, let me know what you plan on doing. And I guarantee you it'll be some vague ass idea. Again, no offense to the person, but calorie deficit. Well, what does that mean? That's like the vaguest thing. That's always say like, it's like saying, well, I don't know how to play the piano, but it's not that hard. I mean, all you do is hit the right keys at the right time in the right order and you got music. Come on, give me a break. Isn't that hard to hit the right keys at the right time in the right order? That's easy. Yeah. It's not like an asshole saying that though. Like, yeah, it's easy to say, but it's the granular details of how to do it. I'm just going to cut my calories down. I'm going to cut my calories down and start working out. No, you're not. That's so stupid to say that. Like it's so simple. Do you think 75% of the population will be overweight or obese if you could just cut your calories down and start working out more? No. Is it that simple? Methinks not. So I think you need a more robust approach to mastering your weight than what? Let me write down on a piece of paper your meal plan and then just follow it. If you think that the main thing stopping you from losing weight is that you don't know what to do, I'd say you're wrong. I'd say the main thing is that you don't know how to get yourself to do what you already know to do. And the diets never teach you how to think differently. They never teach you how to get yourself to do the things you need to do to lose weight. So that seems to be the missing piece. And the diet ain't going to fix it. Starting a keto plan today is not going to fix anything. Shark says, I keep sabotaging myself. It's usually when I'm tired, but with small children, that's a lot. Yeah, I get that. But I always push back on the sabotaging thing. I think saying you sabotage yourself, I hate that framing with a passion because I think it's bullshit. I think it's like, again, if you've never played the piano and I sit you down at the piano, I say, okay, play me a song. And you go, I don't know. I don't know how to play a song. I say, oh, you know how to play. You're just sabotaging yourself. Come on, let's go. I don't know what to do. No, you're just sabotaging yourself. Come on. And you say, well, that's different, Jim. I know how to lose weight. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't know how to eat right. You don't know how to deal with cravings. You don't know how to deal with your moods. You don't know how to energize yourself. You don't know how to deal with stress. You don't know how to deal with the kids' food. You don't have any strategies for any of that. So it's the same thing. And so I find most of the time when people say I'm sabotaging myself, what they really mean is I don't know how. I don't know how to deal with eating when I'm exhausted and tired. And I'm tired all the time because I got these kids. Great. That's a much better distinction than saying, oh, I'm sabotaging myself. What's that mean? Because sabotaging, to me, that's just another way of saying, I should just do the right thing. I know what to do, Jim. I just got to get myself to do the right thing. Again, that's the phrase that drives me crazier than anyone is that dieters always say that. Oh, I know what to do, Jim. I just got to get myself to do it. That's a fucking dumb description of the problem, because the problem isn't that you can't get yourself to do it. The problem is you don't know how to get yourself to do it. The only way you know how to get yourself to do it takes tons and tons of energy, and you can only do it for a little while. So when Shark says I keep sabotaging myself, it's usually when I'm tired. That's not how I frame it. I say, I want to eat well and I do well when I'm energized and have energy, but I got kids and I'm tired a lot. And once I'm tired, there becomes the problem. Great. When's it showing up? Breakfast, lunch, dinner? No, breakfast is pretty fine. That's fine. Okay, so lunch and dinner? Yeah, lunch is okay. It's a little hit or miss, but dinner is really the main problem. Let's focus on dinner. Maybe you could take a 15-minute nap in the afternoon. Maybe you could have a healthy snack in the afternoon. Maybe you could, I don't know, tell if you get someone else to watch the kids for half an hour and go take a nap. I don't know. There's a lot of solutions that are there, but when we say we're sabotaging ourselves, I think we're usually bullshitting ourselves, and we tell ourselves the answer is just force ourselves to do the right thing. When in reality, the answer is, how do you deal with being so tired? And there's a lot of ways to deal with that. Okay. But sabotaging yourself is just this catch-all, which is like, yeah, I'm tired, but I should just make the right decision when I'm tired. You're never going to make great decisions when you're tired. So the solution is to figure out ways to feel more energized, to feel better. While I liver, I listened to your hypnosis through the link in your bio and it really helped. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. That's cool. I'm going to screenshot that because I tell you that I give you, no one gives away more free stuff than I do. So there you go. Go click the link in my bio. Go get the hypnosis session. Go check out programyourselfthin.com. If you're serious about losing weight this year, if you're even remotely serious, you should at least consider Program Yourself Thin. Katie says Gym AI is super cool. I need to utilize them more. Yes, I know that too. Gym AI, like I said, that's what's coming in the new year. The app is really the future for me. And that's why I'll tell you too, like any of you that are considering coaching, it's the same thing as the program. These coaching, you will never be able to work with me at these rates again. I promise you what I'm telling you. My whole business model is changing this year. Okay. Where everything's really around the hypnosis program and the mastery program in the app. There's gonna be a lot of advertising going on. I'm writing a book. I'm gonna put that out there, and you will never be able to work for me at these prices again. I'm just letting you know that, and there's no pressure, but I'm letting you know that you will never, ever, never be able to coach with me for the rates that the chance you have right now. So, anyways, but my point being as well, though, that the app is going to integrate Gym AI into it at a very core level, and I'm really excited about that. So that's something that probably, and for me to use Gym AI the way I want to, I've got to get my app's got to get going. And so that's something that's looking like it's probably, depending what I can get done tomorrow before I go away, is probably 4 to 6 weeks away. But when 4 to 6 weeks come, then I'm going to be able to use Gym AI in a much different way. And it's going to be integrated right into the program. So that basically Gym AI is going to take you through all the different lessons. And so the core program is going to take you through that. But once you're in the coaching or the Thrive versions of things, it's going to each week, the stuff that we do, the different lessons, Gym AI is going to be integrated right into that. So it'll help you utilize it more. All right. Shark said, I'm undoing years of diet binge cycle and it's tough. Yeah, for sure. You're helping me break cycles that are so ingrained in me. This year I'm doing it Jim's way. All right. That's what I like to hear, Shark. Nice job. Nice job. And again, Shark, so what it starts with, though, is not the eating. It starts with getting some lifestyle habits in place that help you deal with the exhaustion of being a parent to young children. You see what I mean? That's the core thing we got to deal with first. Because, hey, listen, same with me. When I talk about it, I dropped 50 pounds 30 years ago and I maintained it, but I had a blip 12 years ago. What happened in that blip? I had my son who was a shitty sleeper. We moved into a house and we redid the whole. So it was a period of intense stress and exhaustion. That's when I put 25 pounds on. So even me, when I'm exhausted and wiped out, I don't make good decisions. So it's not about, I'm sabotaging myself because I'm absolutely knackered, exhausted, and I'm not making good decisions. So I'm sabotaging myself. No, I'm eating shitty because I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm having a hard time making choices. Now, don't get me wrong. We can influence this to some degree, but the real solution is going into the core of it and saying, how can I deal with this exhaustion? And I will let you know what the answer is sometimes is getting more sleep. I know you think you can't get more sleep. You can go to bed a little bit earlier. I can almost guarantee it. You can take some naps when the kids take naps, perhaps. There's little things you can do. Drink water, make sure you're hydrated, set a little time for relaxation. If you start focusing on how can I recover, how can I rejuvenate myself a bit, that will almost guaranteed that will serve you better with your weight and your food decisions more than starting a diet. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Definitely, maybe. What do you think about Ozempic? I get more and more skeptical of them each and every day, but I want to make clear that like the weight loss medicines and what we're doing here are like two worlds apart. Ozempic and those medicines, and I don't have anything necessarily against them. I think if you're morbidly obese and you don't want to dedicate the time, energy, or don't have the desire to do what I'm talking about, like really go to the core and master your weight, you don't want to do that, you don't give a shit about that, then I think Ozempic's probably going to be better for you, because the weight loss you'll experience, the benefits you get from that are probably way exceed the potential dangers of it. But what I'm talking about here is mastering your weight, folks. It's weight loss wrapped in personal development. It's weight mastery wrapped in personal development. It's about becoming the best version of you possible. And Ozempic's not going to do that. Just because your weight goes down doesn't just make you the best version of you possible, because Ozempic's not going to teach you how to fix your mindset, how to live a healthier lifestyle, how to take control of your habits, how to deal with your emotions more effectively, how to think like a thin, healthy, successful person. You're not going to learn any of those things with Ozempic. So you're going to be the exact same person who just isn't hungry and doesn't eat. So again, in that sense, we're two worlds apart. And again, back to the Ozempic, we don't know. It's brand new. You want to be a guinea pig? Go be a guinea pig. And you are a guinea pig. If you don't have type 2 diabetes, they tested it on type 2 diabetics for 20 years. Okay, so it's pretty, you're probably pretty safe there. They have not tested Ozempic and all these medicines on people that don't have diabetes, and they're just using these things for weight. And so who knows? Will it wreak havoc on but we already know you have to do it forever. But what we don't know is what the effects of the weight's going to be after 2-3 years. I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. And again, at the end of the day, all it does is make you full and eat less. It doesn't help you deal with all those other things. So again, for me, it's completely unappealing because I'm obsessed with weight mastery. I love this process. I love how I think. I love how I live. I love how I eat. Right down even the holidays. Even the holidays, I've been eating cookies and bullshit for the last 2 weeks. I put 5 pounds on. I don't care. I do it every year. It's just part of my whole year-long process. And January will come around, I'll drop that weight, and I'll be right back to where I usually am. So I've got a whole system worked out that I love. You're going to get that with Ozempic. Talk to some people on Ozempic. It's not as usual, as you should imagine, it's not the rosy picture that the ads always make it seem for most people. So again, I think that they're always trying to sell us a quick fix, this perfect solution. I do not think these medicines are the perfect solutions. I wish they were. If they were, again, I'd be the first in line. Please make a magic medicine that, not Ozempic though. What would be a magic medicine to me? They give you an injection and all of a sudden you think like a thin, healthy person. So you start craving nourishing foods. You don't want to eat bullshit food because you know what they do to your body. And so you avoid them most of the time. You start living a healthier lifestyle. You start getting better quality sleep. You start drinking more water properly to the proper levels to get the best hydration levels. You start relaxing and calming yourself down. You start breathing more deeply. You start nourishing your body at a higher level. You start moving more, connecting with your body in enjoyable ways. You start meditating, quieting your mind down, understanding yourself deeper. You start practicing gratitude so you feel thankful for the beautiful life that you have. If they had a medicine that does that, please put it out to the world. I don't give a fuck. I'll do it. I can do a million other things, but that's not what Ozempic does at all. So, I wish it did. So that's my thoughts about Ozempic. Rue says, any tips for binge eating? I eat something bad, even a small amount. I think my day is ruined. So then I go crazy for food and overeat. Yeah, Rue. I mean, that's the classic dieter move. They literally have a name for it. It's called what the hell effect. And it's a unique phenomenon among dieters. But of course, when you have extreme deprivation and you have a mindset of a dieter, as soon as you make a mistake, it really sets you up for this, because again, you have to understand you dieters think about your weight loss like it's a sprint, right? Because again, your goal is to get to your goal weight and you want to do it as fast as possible. So you think of it like a sprint. And if you think of a race like a sprint race, The only way you can win a sprint is perfection. You trip a little bit in a sprint, you've lost the race, right? So that's how you're subconsciously thinking about your weight loss. You're thinking as a sprint, and you're thinking I have to be perfect because I'm doing this extreme shit. It's really hard. And so if I make one little mistake, I've blown my results. All that hard stuff for nothing because now my results won't be as great. And so it feels catastrophic. And so if you think of your weight mastery, your weight loss like a marathon, like something you're gonna be doing forever, a little mistake's not a big deal, right? If you're actually running a marathon, you trip a little bit, that's okay. You can make up for it. There's plenty of time. So again, the mindset strikes again. And how you think about your weight has a huge impact on everything, coming right down to little mistakes you make. So in Program Yourself Thin, we build around the idea that you're not going to be perfect. There's no way in fucking hell you're going to be perfect with your eating. You're not going to go from being shitty eater to being a perfect eater in one day. And so Program Yourself Thin, and my belief is that the number one skill of weight mastery is the ability to get back on track quickly. And so the Program Yourself Thin Mastery Program is built around the Program Yourself Thin technique, which is the redo rehearsal technique. And that is what you use to get back on track quickly. So the big difference in those of Program Yourself Thin people, it's not that they're perfect. It's that when they make a mistake, they got a strategy of how to get themselves back on track quickly, how to look at that mistake and learn and grow from it to become a better version of themselves and get right back on track. Whereas a dieter has no strategy how to deal with it. And as soon as you make a mistake a little too much, it feels like you totally blew everything. So very, very common. Carol CJ, how's it going? The morning hypnosis sets me up for a great day, and the weekly one I do after work. Success. Yeah. Carol, again, awesome. Let's screenshot that. Again, when you book in your days, right? That's just the hypnosis program, which is available now. Just the hypnosis. If you just want to dabble with hypnosis, if you just listen to these things, you'll lose weight. I guarantee it. And why? Because you're going to start each morning 5 minutes relaxed. How are you starting your mornings? You starting your mornings relaxed? You moving into your days relaxed and calm? So what are you even expecting? What's going to happen? I mean, you're a nervous wreck. Nervous wrecks eat a certain way. So again, with the program, even just the hypnosis piece, you start your morning, 5 minutes of relaxation is a lifetime. I mean, 5 minutes is a long time. You feel very, very relaxed, and you relax and you calm down physically. Turn your attention inwards. Then you hear this positive stuff coming in your mind, and it's all built around one mantra, because I'm looking to install that mantra deep in your mind. And then you go into your day, you come out of it and you go into your day. But now you're moving into your day. Your shoulders are dropped. Your breathing is fuller. Your chest is more relaxed. Your stomach's more relaxed. You're more calm. You're more grounded. When you feel that way, you tend to make better food choices. And then at night, you listen to a 10-minute session, right? How you get home? You're tense, work all day. Now you calm down, relax, ground yourself. What would happen if you did it every day for 8 weeks? It's not hard to figure out. Julie says, oh my God, I crave salads and veggies for the first time ever. Yes, again, Julie's in the program. And yeah, that's what happens. You crave this stuff because it feels amazing. It feels amazing. You can, I think people don't think of that because, again, all the diets have been set there by, diets are the most insidious psychological operation in history. Well, one of them. And it's really ridiculous. But again, you can crave healthy foods, folks. I know it seems like that's impossible, but I promise you can. You can feel indifference for shitty food, and you can feel craving for healthy food. It just depends on how you think about them. He says, enjoying you immensely on my New Year's Day hike at Freeman Canyon in Studio City, California. Oh, Fryman Canyon. Okay. That's cool. Oh man, what a day for a hike. It's pretty shitty out here in Massachusetts. Kind of gray. It's not cold though. I'll go for a walk in a little while. Get ready to go to Disney though. Can't wait. Leaving there Friday. So that's exciting. But yeah, California. Nice. Hey, Mario, what's up? How's it going, Mario? Yep, Mario says, gosh, I was binging like crazy on New Year's and drinking. Yep, that'll happen. I remember those days. Don't miss those. I was thinking, it's so nice. It's so nice. Wake up with a clear head and, feeling good. I've been eating a lot though. Definitely my eating been wild the last couple of weeks here, but yeah, that'll happen. Jonathan's here too. All right. Jonathan said, I'm starting to slowly shed pounds, but now I have another problem. My husband says I'm perfect. Oh, yep. and he eats junk food around me, but he knows how to control it, but I just end up binging. Yeah, okay, Jonathan, but listen, when that's the situation, we all got our challenges. You know what I mean? So I want you to be clear again. Dieters are like so famous for being either or, right? It's all or nothing. And so it's kind of like throat. So a lot of times say, well, as long as there's no junk food around, then I can lose weight. Oh, well, my husband's eating junk food, and now I can't stop binging on it, But what you want to start doing first off, though, and again, you did point to an important point there, is that, if your husband thinks you're perfect, you got to decide for yourself, and again, this comes back to a core problem dieters have. Most dieters weigh what they want to weigh. Do you not believe me? I've rarely seen a dieter that doesn't weigh what he wants to weigh what they want to weigh. So anyways, figuring out what you want to weigh is the first step. And so you got to figure out, Jonathan, what you want to weigh. You got to get crystal clear on it. Because if you're vague about it, you're going to be in trouble, because then you got your husband say, well, you look perfect, you're great. And maybe you are. Again, I don't give a shit. You weigh what you want to weigh, but what weight gives you the best quality of life? Which weight makes you feel the best? You got to figure that out for yourself, and you've got to own that and hold on to that. And then regardless of what your husband says or what anyone says, fine, that's great. Thank you. But what do you want to do? And once you have that is the motivation that we use to be able to be around junk food and just be indifferent to it, to eat some of it or not eat any of it, eat it however you want to. But it all starts by having that deep motivation of what do you want to weigh? What's going to make you feel the best? What's going to give you the best quality of life? And I can tell right now you don't have that, because I can tell by the languaging you're using. So again, you got to take some time to step back and say, what weight do I want to live at? At what weight am I the best version of me? Again, dieters, it's classic. Because dieters conflate thinking about weight all day long. You think because you think about your weight all the time that you're motivated. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see dieters making, is that they think because I think about my weight all the time, I must be really motivated. Not true. Not true. You can think about your weight 24 hours a day and not be motivated. That's your problem. You're not motivated. You're not motivated. I can't make it any fucking clearer. And you're confusing yourself. You confuse yourself. And it's literally psychologically, it's one of the worst thoughts you can have, is to think I want to lose weight more than anything in the world. And it's not happening, because as soon as you think that, you start believing that there must be something broken in here. Something's wrong here, that no matter what I do, I can't lose weight because I want to lose weight more than anything. I have never seen that to be the case. I've never seen someone who wants to lose weight more than anything genuinely that does not lose weight. I've never seen it. Is it possible? It's a big world. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying I've never seen it. And I've done almost 6,000 private weight loss sessions. So you might be the one outlier, but I bet you're not. I bet you're not. And so, Jonathan, you got to go back and say to yourself, what do I want to weigh? Who do I want to be? And you're in a unique experience to do that, because now that you've lost some weight, you have a sense. We always learn through contrast. And so you know what it's like to be overweight. You know what it's like to be at your goal weight. And it's up to you now to pick, where are you going to be happiest? Which version of you do you want to live as? It doesn't necessarily mean the lightest weight, by the way. Again, the numbers, they're arbitrary. The weight's a means to an end. The weight is not the end in and of itself. So it's up for you to take a step back and who do I want to be? What's the best version of me? And what weight is part of that? Vicky says, yeah, when are Jonathan and Mario going to join us? They're not going to join us, because I know guys like this. And I get it. I had to say, well, I wasn't like that, but it's like that sometimes, that young guys are more on the stubborn scale of things. And, in that sense, I will let you know, and I'm very clear and outspoken about this, that to be completely honest, Program Yourself Thin is really built more for people. I would say the minimum age is typically around 40. There's always some people in their 30s that are just kind of mature souls, but usually the people that do the best in the program are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, is the average. There's people in the 70s, even people in the 80s I've worked with, but the majority of people are usually 50s, 60s, 40s, 50s, 60s, usually 50s, 60s. But so, Yeah, sometimes people, I don't know, they just need a little more pain and and frustration before they finally get the help they need. Uh, yep, there you go. Jody says the calm me is thin and healthy, right? And again, that's one of the mantras we have in the program. So again, when you start thinking like a thin, healthy person, you never believe it, but it's a lot easier to be thin and healthy. And when you think like an overweight person, it's really hard to be thin and healthy, you know? Uh, yeah, Jen says, Jonathan, think about health, not how you look. That's how I remind myself. Yeah, of course, Jen. Yeah, that's another good suggestion. Julie says, I'm on vacation and treated myself with a pear and goat cheese salad at the restaurant. Didn't bother with the dessert. What's happening to me? Yeah, I'm so proud of you, Julie. Julie's a superstar. And I say that because I am very good. Listen, I'm a hypnotist and a neurolinguistic programming trainer. But really what my trade is understanding subconscious communication. I'd say that's probably my biggest skill set. And the way I do that is I kind of read between the lines of the words, of communication. And Julie, I can always tell, is internalizing this at a very deep level. But that's what's possible when you do it is, yes, you go out to nice restaurants and enjoy what you're getting, but you find yourself naturally ordering healthier stuff, feeling more indifferent to dessert, and still feeling amazing. Why? Because you're subconsciously more fixated on the pleasure you get out of making those healthy choices. You're more connected to the pleasure you get out of just being indifferent to dessert. Who gives a shit? And then feeling light and feeling strong and powerful and attractive and confident and sexy or whatever things are valuable to you when you don't order the dessert. That's how I feel. When I don't order dessert, I don't feel a sense of deprivation. I feel an elation. I feel excited. I feel happy. I feel good things. Do you think that might help me make better decisions more? Yeah. People struggle with that. But again, it's the same thing for you, Carrie, that again, if I get it. I mean, you get different messages from people. I got messages. It's not the same, but it's in the ballpark. But when I was losing weight, people, oh, are you all right? Are you looking sick? They're always worried for me, And so other people's opinions and what they say, it's got to be dealt with, And again, the main way to deal is, how do I want to respond? Is, what do I want? That's the key thing. You need to know, what do you want and why? And when that's rock solid, I can't tell you, it becomes the firm foundation ground that you build upon, So that helps with everything. Thanks, Julie. But yeah, when you're properly motivated, you can deal with anything. What's up, Don? Shark says, my worst habit is massively overeating some days, writing the whole day off. Yeah, that's most people's worst habit. And so again, it's not about avoiding that forever. It's about understanding it. There's a pattern there. Okay. When you have those days where you massive overeating days, I guarantee you there's a pattern there. And I bet it revolves around a shitty night of sleep. You're exhausted. The kids are being little pains in the asses. Partner or people are being a pain in the ass, and you're all triggered. And fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? Eat everything, And so you want to start to notice the patterns, because it's not all the time. You can't just expect, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore. Well, how are you not going to do it anymore? You don't even know why it happens. So you need to understand it more. I always say that in Program Yourself, then we always use that awareness precedes change. I will let you all know, you dieters, you're not aware. You think you're aware, but you're not. And so, you got your eyes closed in a dark room trying to find your way around. You have no idea what you're doing, and you have no idea about your behaviors and thoughts. So, Shark, you got to break that down. Again, that's what we do in Program Yourself. Then the first thing we start with is your worst eating habit. Fuck you dieters. You dieters, I love all you dieters. Going to change everything today. Are you going to do it today? How's that going? Where are we at? 250? Have you even made it to the first day? I'll just start Monday. Will you? Will you? I won't be here Tuesday, but I think of me next Tuesday. But anyway, Shark, yeah, you gotta just start with that. Start with that one thing. Start with two things, right? You can start with really a fixation on rest, sleep, hydration, things that'll rejuvenate you, right? Because you got all this pressure from having kids just draining you, right? And so you need to have something to combat that. And it could be just taking naps when you can, sleeping, getting good at just resting your eyes and closing them for a minute, getting someone to watch the kids for a half hour so you can just zonk out instead of just scrolling. I know you're scrolling more than you should. Take that scrolling time and sleep. That's something that's going to help you. But again, we need to break it down. We don't say, oh, I got to stop massively overeating. It's New Year resolution. I'm not going to massively overeat anymore. What the fuck does that mean? if it was that easy, none of us would be here, right? It is not that easy. So again, we need to have a strategic system. Strategic system is what we need. Don said, I fell behind in my daily sessions. Can I start over as I get lifetime access to these? Yeah, of course. And Don, I'm going to assume you're in the app. And I apologize to anyone. I'm in this little weird spot that I have the emails that are going out currently send to the membership site, and the app, the morning sessions now go to that. So it's annoying me, but anyways, yeah, just shoot me a message, Don, and I'll do it. I'll never remember today about this, but so shoot it to me. Mr. Pulte says you should write a book. I am going to write a book. I'm already working on it. And December was supposed to be that, but December got hijacked hard by that app and some other things. Well, got to adjust. But yeah, the book will be coming in the new year, and the app's coming in the new year. It's real exciting. Okay, Jonathan said going on vacation soon, and he already is talking about all the greasy, cheesy foods we're going to eat. Yeah. Again, Jonathan, I get it. Listen, so now I hear though this, and this is very common. Relationships are a huge aspect of your weight mastery. And so for you, Jonathan, you got to get clear on what you want. You know, you can't blame him because you're unclear on what you want. You see? And so you decide what you want to do and then communicate that to him and then take it from there. But right now, you haven't even decided what you want. You're kind of just flapping in the breeze of his wind, you know? And so you got to ground yourself. What do you want to be? How do you want to eat? What do you want to do? And once you have that, once you know that, who gives a shit? Let him talk about all the foods he wants to eat. Great. I'll eat some of them, but I'm not going crazy. I don't want to do that anymore. I lost all this weight. I'm feeling great. I know you like me bigger and that's fine, but I like me here. I like me now. This is what I want to be. Now, I don't know if this is what you want to be. So you might want to be heavier. That's fine too. You know, there's no rule. You weigh what you want to weigh, Jonathan. But the secret is at what weight am I the best version of myself? At what weight am I have the best quality of life? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. All right. Okay. So I was on Wegovy for 15 months and would never, ever go back. Just my experience. Yes. And that is an interesting experience too, which is, yeah, this stuff's interesting. Jonathan says, I have my belly fat visible and I want to get rid of it as fast as possible. For some reason, dieting isn't working the way it did before. Well, that's funny, Jonathan. I mean, again, our memories aren't that great, you know? And so I know that you were putting some weight on, your eating probably got a little wobbly. Your motivation's a little different. It's just been the holiday season. So there's a lot of factors that are kind of working against you to some degree. I guess you want to get rid of it as fast as possible. That's always a red flag and a bad sign. But, you know, yeah, when I was dieting for my wedding, it was so easy and now it's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare because it's not a system built to be long-term. It's a drastic thing meant to accomplish a result quickly. It's a temporary thing. Your diet that you were doing is a temporary thing. And you were able to do it because there was so much excitement about that potential reality. I'm trying to tell you this, dieters. Listen, dieting, I know all about diet marketing. I know about marketing. I've been a marketer for 20 years. I've been 30 years. I've been sales and marketing for 30 years. And so, and I've been in the weight loss industry forever. And so it's really important that you realize that dieting is built around the false hope syndrome. And the false hope is generated by your dopamine because your dopamine, this camera keep falling down. I'm watching it go down. I guess it's staying. So I was just saying this before that dieters, what do you always hold out in front of you is the motivation, your goal weight, right? And so you put all this faith into your goal weight that's not real. Right. Well, here's Jonathan. He's at his goal weight. And why is this struggle? I mean, you would think if we were logical, you get to your goal weight and you'd stay there forever because it was so fucking amazing. It was the most amazing thing that ever happened to you. I'll never let go of this. But that's not what it's like. You get to your goal weight and you just habituate to it. And now you just got the regular bullshit in your life that's going on as usual. And now you got to eat the same. But now you don't have the excitement of what it's going to be like to get to my goal weight because you've been there and you know what it's like. It's not as exciting anymore. So your level of excitement's gone way down. You're in your side, you're like, oh, am I going to look like, oh, I'm going to get my pictures, I'm going to get wedded, I'm going to get married, all this stuff is out in front of you. And your motivation was up here. And so you could do this crazy shit for a little while. Now your motivation's down here. And you can't get yourself to do the crazy stuff. And that's how I think of it. Is that, I don't know, that's how you think about it. Billy says, every 2 months, my BMI gets higher and higher. I can't stop binging. You know, you might be right. You can't stop binging, but you can prevent it. You can avoid it. You know, so it's a different mindset. You're not going to take your binging on like it's a battle. Like, come on, binging, let's go. Then you go out and take the binging on like, hey, what's going on with this? Let me look at it from a bunch of different angles. When do I binge? What's going on? What's the pattern to my binging? You know, you can stop binging, but you have to understand it first. There's very specific reasons you're binging. The big three. Number one, you're getting yourself way too hungry. So you're over restricting and you're depriving yourself. You're getting so hungry that you can't control your eating. That's number one. Number two is something emotional. You're getting really emotional and then you can't deal with your eating. You get too depressed. You get too stressed. You are celebrating. It could be anything on the emotional spectrum and it triggers you to overeat. And or it's just a habit. Every Friday night I get done with work and I start eating a bunch of bullshit. Or some combination of the three. But you got to start diagnosing. I can't stop binging is meaningless. That means absolutely nothing. You've got different binge eating patterns and habits, and not a million of them. You probably got 3 at most binge eating habits. Ones that happen, oh, this is the one that I always do when I over restrict and then I binge. Oh, this is the one that happens when I get really depressed or stressed or whatever, and then I overeat. But there's patterns to it. And you got to recognize what those patterns are first so you can be strategic with your solution. You can't just, willpower is not like a one size fits all tool. Is it? Do you think it is? Julie says, thank you for being on vacation with me. Your calming voice starts my day and is in my head. Yeah, that's great. I'm not binging on crap because I'd rather have energy and not spend vacation in the bathroom. I couldn't agree more. I think that's great. That's what I mean. Like I'm about to go on vacation and it's like, yeah, I'll eat food that I don't normally eat, but I'm not going to go wild with it. If I don't want to. I like the taste of food as much as anyone, but I don't like the shitty feeling when I eat too much of it. You know? So Jen says, Jonathan, congratulations on your new marriage. I'm also fortunate enough to have a spouse who loves me at any size. Yeah. Again, it is great to have someone that loves you at any size, but at the same time, it always comes down to you get to decide your weight. It's one of the most like, when it comes to freedoms, that's like one of the core freedoms. We get to choose what we want to weigh. You can choose what you want to weigh, folks. It's your choice. What do you want to weigh? Not what your spouse wants you to weigh, or what your mom wants you to weigh, or what your friend wants you to weigh. What do you want to weigh? And why? That's where all success starts from. And I've got so many reasons why I want to weigh what I want to weigh. It would be very obvious to you why I weigh what I want to weigh. I've got a million reasons, and they're all very, very powerful, impactful reasons. But I could go through a line of dieters. Why do you want to weigh that? Oh, that's what I weighed when I got married. Oh, that's what I weighed when I was 18. Well, that's what my favorite actress weighs. It's like, the fuck cares? You know, that's not a motivation. What's up, Paula? Paula says, oh my goodness, it just occurred to me that this is the first January 1st in decades that I didn't wake up and say, I'm starting my new diet today. That's awesome, Paula. Again, Paula's in the program and she's a superstar. So Paula's a good one because sometimes transformations happen with the weight right away. And sometimes transformations happen with the behaviors and the mindsets. And Paula is a mindset behavior success story. You know, and sometimes that's what happens first, you know, then the weight follows it. But yeah, that's awesome, Paul. And again, it's fun to notice that stuff. It's fun to notice when the differences, because again, we're not always aware of them. So yeah, it's exciting when we realize, oh shit, I'm not starting a diet today. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to convince any of you to not start a diet today. Please don't start a diet today or Monday. Don't do it. If it worked, I'd tell you to do it too, by the way. Y24K2Y. Why do I have motivation to lose weight only for 1 week? Because you don't really have motivation, A, anyways. It's not real motivation, you know? And then B, the way you're trying to lose weight is so intense that you can't stick with it. And so when you take something extreme and you take your shitty motivation, you get, I can do it for a week and then I quit. So it's kind of simple. So you get 2 choices. You can either get more motivated and or you can make the process you're following to weigh what you want be less extreme. I would suggest a combination of both of them that is the path we take in Program Yourself Thin. But yeah, you dieters are all going to experience the same thing. You're gonna stick with it for a week and maybe two, maybe probably not. I think the numbers are. Oh, let me see if I can get these right. Oh, okay. What did I see these numbers? The 39% of people can get past a week on a diet. 74% couldn't get past a month. So yeah. Professional Killjoy goes, yeah, but if I don't start a diet today, how will I start my second diet in February? My third diet 2 weeks after that. Exactly. That's why I was thinking that last night. I was taking a shower and I'm like, if you're starting a diet today, I'll bet you $100 you're starting a diet next year at this time too. You know what I mean? Like, God. And I bet you started one last year. It's just this cultural insanity. You know what I mean? It's this cultural psychosis. This starting a weight that died on January 1st. All right. Jonathan sounds motivated. He's going to lose those 20 pounds. Nice. Mario said, I'm pretty stubborn, not going to lie. I know that. Judith says, it's so true. So many times I've lost weight and put it back on. And now as an older person, more meaning. Yeah. It's good to focus on how you're going to feel before you eat something. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, I mean, everything I'm sharing with you is based on things I've learned from people that have lost weight and kept it off long-term. So as a neurolinguistic programming trainer, I'm obsessed with success and role modeling that. And I think that is right off the bat what makes everything I'm saying so much different than what you typically hear in the weight loss world, because oddly, weight loss, all the weight loss stuff is built around getting to your goal weight. Everything I'm saying is about living at your goal weight. And they're two totally different things. You know, when you're thinking about just weight loss, you get questions about water fasting. When you think about living at your goal weight forever, you get questions about habits and, how to get back on track quickly. There's two totally different mindsets, Flakaya Fishin says, I have a split personality that eats like I'm starved. Yeah, well, we all got split personalities. We're all multiple personalities, folks. You're not just one version of you. You're not just one person. So I want you to know that. We're all multiple personalities. And when you're tired and exhausted, you're one version of yourself. When you're calm and you're relaxed and grounded and feeling peaceful, you're a totally different version of you. Right? I wouldn't disagree with that. And so in Program Yourself, then we utilize that. We utilize it. And so we work on creating the version of you that gets the best results easily and comfortably, because we're all split personalities. And you all ought to work on creating the personality that's thin and healthy in an enjoyable and comfortable way. And I bet you're not doing that. Julie says, my New Year's resolution is to not skip my daily hypnosis and read or rehearse at night. That's a great resolution. It's super. That's a smart resolution. Why? Because she's already done it, so it's not this brand new thing she's doing. It's doable, right? So that's a smart resolution. The resolutions aren't the problem, folks. The problem is your resolutions. Stupid. They're stupid because what are you gonna do? Oh, it's January 1st. No more carbs. Oh, okay. No more carbs. I mean, you know what a dramatic thing that is to take on? It's again, the dieter delusion is so strong in this country. Jonathan said I'm roasting you guys. I'm roasting you a little bit, but hey, listen, I was a young guy. I was a little different though, but young guys always think they can do it on their own. But again, listen, I will be clear. My program is really for people that have the people that do the best in my program are the people that have tried all the diets. They've lost weight, put it back on, lost weight, put it back on, and they get apathetic. They get to the point where they're like, I don't think anything's going to work. No matter what I do, I can't lose the weight. That's usually the people I get. And that's usually where they got to be. I'm the solution of last resort. I'm fine with that. No one starts their weight loss journey with the hypnotist. You know what I mean? You start your journey with the diet and bullshit. And then after it doesn't work for 20 years, then I'm here for you. That's kind of how it's been. So I'm not surprised. It's not unusual either. Because I've been told all you better stop now. You don't need to lose any more weight. Yeah. People will tell you not to lose any more weight. I had people tell me that. Fuck them. Again, if you're solid in your own goal, I'm joking now because it was annoying back then. And it would frustrate me and I'd have to deal with it. But What I ultimately learned though is fuck them. They're not me. I get to choose my weight. I can weigh what I want to weigh. I can eat what I want to eat. I'm not living my life for these other people. And it's people I love more than anything in the world. But at the same time, if someone's telling me something, it's my choice. Thank you. I appreciate your input. Thank you very much for sharing. But I'm going to do what I want to do. Thank you. There's a confidence in me. There's a certainty in me. Why? Because I'm so grounded to my goal. So anyone comes out, oh, Jim, oh, you shouldn't. You're looking kind of thin there. Great. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate your opinion. Would you like my opinion on your weight? No, but anyway, so again, I get it, but we got to learn how to deal with that, because listen, we're always at the mercy of other people's suggestions. We have hypnotic brains, so someone can say something can totally just sabotage us in a second. That's not a secret. The question is, how are you going to deal with it? If that's a situation you're in, I was in that situation where I had people saying triggering things to me. The first couple years of my transformation, I would say there was people consistently that would say things that would trigger me in the wrong direction. And I had to work through all that. Again, we all got challenges, but we can't shirk away from, we can't just, I can't do it because I get this problem. Fuck that. It's the starting point. I got to figure out how to deal with this, And so we all got our challenges. Miriam says, hi, Jim. Over the holidays, I actually lost some weight, which I didn't really expect. Hey, of course, I'm not complaining about the lost weight, but I'm wondering if it's actually lost body fat or if I actually lost some muscle mass over the holidays. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? Like it's, you always lose a little bit of muscle with weight loss anyways, by the way. So I want to be clear about that, that when you're losing weight, some of that's going to be muscle, which again, that brings us back to the weight loss medicines that is a real issue, that people ought to keep an eye on, is that the weight loss is so extreme and dramatic a lot of times that the muscle mass loss is really extreme in a bad situation, especially if you're older. So, again, that's a scary thought. I'm a big fan of slow weight loss. Sorry to say it, but, so I don't know, but, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. You lost weight over the holidays. You just ate less. So, I mean, is it real weight loss? Yeah, it's real weight loss, and again, it just shows up as a response to eating less. And so, yeah, if you continue to eat less, you'll continue to have the weight be lost. Florida kayak fishing. Yep. January 1, gym full. Yes, absolutely. For the next 2 weeks, don't go to the gym. True story. Vicky says, why is food so hard? I keep giving up as soon as I drop a little weight. Again, the food's hard because of the way you're approaching it. The food's hard because of the way you think about it, primarily. Again, you don't realize this, but the diets actually crank your cravings and focus on food up more. So again, dieting is here's the thing, right? So here's something about your mind. You have a conscious and a subconscious mind, but your subconscious mind, which is in charge of your weight and your habitual thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, doesn't understand negatives. So if I tell you, get your willpower together and don't think about what I'm about to say. Don't think about a yellow banana. Don't think about a yellow banana. Okay. You're all thinking about a yellow banana. Even though I told you not to think about it, you're still thinking about it. So think about every time you go on a diet, what are you fixated and focused on? All the food you can't eat, right? If you're on keto, you're obsessed with carbs. If you're on a low sugar diet, you're obsessed with sugar. If you're on Weight Watchers, you're obsessed with points. Calorie restriction, you're obsessed with calories. In Program Yourself Thin, you're obsessed with feeling relaxed, calm, thin, and healthy. So, I don't know if this is resonating with anyone, but they're two worlds apart. So yeah, why is food so hard? Because you're obsessed with food. You're obsessed with trying not to eat the most delicious, greatest foods in the world that bring you the most pleasure and give meaning to your life. I'm exaggerating just a hair, but not really. So you're wondering why food's so hard? Think about how you think about it. So yeah, you feel like giving up because it's so difficult for you. You're so fixated on the food. You're trying to cut out giant swaths of macronutrients probably. I bet Vicky has probably done extreme diets. That's why it's so hard. Probably keto. Maybe paleo, maybe you try to restrict your calories, but I bet you did something kind of extreme, and all those things are hard. John says, how could I talk to my husband to explain to him how important this is for me to lose it? I might have missed it. Sorry. I don't know. Again, I would just right off the bat, the fucking weight loss, dude. I mean, you've already lost weight. It's not important for you to lose it. It's important for you to live at your goal weight. This framing is, I can't let it go. I mean, words have meaning. How important it is for me to lose it? You've already lost it. How important was that for you? It's not, that goal is not going to last. What you got to communicate to him is who you want to be. Who do you want to be, Jonathan? The fucking losing it is a phase. You've already gone through it. It's not the end goal. You can't lose weight forever. You can live at your goal weight forever. You can't lose weight forever. So you've got to change that goal up. And once you do, the answer starts to become kind of obvious. What weight do you want to live at, Jonathan? Okay, at that weight, who are you as a person? What qualities do you exhibit more of when you're at that weight, when you're living as that you? Describe Jonathan at your goal weight versus Jonathan who's 40 pounds heavier. Okay, once you do that, are you still asking me the question, how can I talk to my husband and explain to him why I want to be this one instead of this one? Are you still confused about how to do that? Because you're still, again, I wouldn't even let Jonathan and Mario into my program, to be honest. I am serious too. I do not want either of you to join the program. I do not think you'd be a good fit for it. I'm dead serious too. But again, there's just, you're so obsessed on the losing it part. You've already lost it. If that was so fucking motivating, exciting to lose the weight, why would you have put it back on if it was so great? Vicky says, I have a similar issue. My husband doesn't like when I'm hungry. Yeah, of course, right, Vicky? I mean, again, you wonder why people don't want you to lose weight. Every time you lose weight, you're probably kind of asshole. Because most of the time when people try to lose weight, they do extreme shit where they turn into assholes, right? You get frustrated, you get annoyed, you're short, you don't have your little banky, which is your food. You don't have your routines and your behaviors, and you're a grisly open wound. You're just a raw nerve. Who the fuck wants to be around that? Take a couple extra pounds. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can't be miserable with it. But what if you were more calm and relaxed? What if you felt sexier and more attractive and you were happier and you're more patient and you were more present for your partner? And would they support it better then, maybe? Jonathan says, hey, yikes. Yep, you're so right as always. It's true. I mean, it's not because I'm a genius. It's really just because I've been doing the same thing for 30 years. Yeah, there goes Jonathan. What means the most to me is staying at my goal weight forever. Now, okay, that's not really, that's the starting point. That's the door you walk through. Why? And there's your answers. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing is not to be at my goal weight. My goal weight is just a means to an end. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I like weighing what I weigh, but not just because I don't step on the scale every day anymore. I did when I was losing weight. That's a whole nother conversation, but I don't step on the scale ever anymore. I've been at the same weight for basically 30 years. So I've just habituated to it. Why do I want to be at this weight? Well, now I could talk for hours about all the things that I get out of it. All the reasons I want to be that. There we go. Yeah. Jonathan. Yes. Yeah. Jonathan says it makes me a confident, happy person. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Do you see what I mean? Like there's more emotional oomph. Do you understand? Like money and weight are means to an end. They're not the ends themselves. Okay. So if the weight was the end in itself, then people, once they got to that goal weight, they wouldn't put the weight back on because it'd be so incredible that they were at their goal weight. They would just stay there forever. But what happens is people usually do shitty things to get their goal weight way down that they don't like. So in other words, think about it this way. As they get closer to their goal weight, their quality of life goes down. The weight goes down, their quality of life goes down. Even though their weight's going down, they don't eat the food they like. They don't go out with their friends anymore. They don't socialize. They're scared to be around their family, right? They're isolated. They're fixated on food. They're miserable, but their weight's going down. You ever had that experience, folks? Of course you have. If you've dieted, you've had that experience. So we have to recognize that just losing weight doesn't make you happy. It's how you do it. And it's what you get out of it. And so as you start reframing this, Jonathan, not as a process, I just want to lose weight more than anything. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. And you instead start saying, I want to be a confident, happy, healthy person. I want to be a person who, again, of a slim midsection, I look as good as my husband. I want to be attractive and feel amazing and feel successful and healthy and in control and powerful and happy and confident and successful and passionate. That's what I want. I want to live that life. Right. And when I say these words, now that's exciting, because that has a lot more meaning to you than just a number on a scale or losing weight. Does that make sense? No. Yep, Don's over here. Entertaining today. Nice. Not saying this is you, Jonathan, but some people in our lives don't always want the best for us. Oh, that's definitely true too. That's definitely true. Yeah. And again, I don't know, like I will tell you this. I mean, there are relationship dynamics, and more often than not, regardless, people prefer the status quo than to something new, and so that's why, again, where Jonathan's at, and I've known Jonathan now for 7-8 months or something, and been through a lot of changes during those times, but each stage is different. Do you know what I mean? Like each stage is kind of a different thing that you're dealing with and aware of. And this is why I was saying this yesterday. My favorite thing about the last couple of years switching over to the group coaching model has been that it's opened up the opportunity to work with a group of people longer term, like multi-years. And again, I regularly will say that weight mastery, you should really approach it like you would college. Like it's a long-term commitment. And I know that flies in the face of your diet thinking, but it's been the truth of what I've seen. And what that means is that along this path, I was saying this to you, Katie, right? That it's like, we start the process like we got a tangled ball of yarn in front of us. And it's got all these different threads, and we kind of pull this out. So, oh, this is my eating habits. Oh, this is my relationship with others and how that affects me. Oh, this is my beliefs. Oh, this is my emotions. Oh, this is my thinking. Oh, this is my breakfast. This is my exercise. And there's all these little pieces to it. But it's not as simple as the diets make it seem. Again, the marketing's built around the one thing concept, right? Because diets know that the people they're appealing to are overwhelmed and exhausted and apathetic. And so they need to make the diet concept seem as simple as possible. That's why you get diet concepts like keto, right? Just stop eating carbs. Weight Watchers, just count your points. Intermittent fasting, just don't eat for 16 hours, right? And so they take things and they try and make them as simple as possible. Now, conceptually, it sounds simple as possible, but in reality, to stop eating carbs completely, to not eat for 16 hours, to track every calorie you eat, these are really intense things. And we just make them sound real simple, but they're hard. And weight mastery is I play guitar, and it's like I'm 30 years into playing the guitar. And it's like, I could have never learned what I learned over 30 years in a month. There's no crash course learn guitar in a day. Some things just take time. And I find dieters are so obsessed with finding shortcuts that they end up taking the longest way around and oftentimes never even get to the destination. Whereas if you just dedicated your energy intelligently and strategically to fixing the core skills, what are the core skills? In programming yourself, then we follow the weight mastery pyramid: mindset, lifestyle, eating. Mindset, we break down into 6 categories: motivation, your self-image, habits, emotions, thinking, maintenance. Do you know how to motivate yourself? Your self-image and identity? Do you know how to think like a thin, healthy person? Do you know how to think of yourself and identify as a thin, healthy person? Do you know how to strategically manage your habits? Do you know how to deal with your emotions? Do you know how to think like a thin, healthy person? Do you know how to maintain during times of stress and challenging times? Do you have any strategies? And I know your answer to all those questions is no. So what are you doing? I don't need that horse shit, Jim. I just need willpower. I'm just going to do it. Okay. Lifestyle. Well, there's 8 habits we focus on. In order of importance: sleeping, hydration, relaxation, breathing, nourishment, movement, meditation, gratitude. Are you focusing on these in a systematic way so that you start to have these in your life habitually, automatically, each and every day? And then the eating. Do you know how to develop awareness? Do you know how to structure your eating? Do you know how to optimize it? And if you have no answers to any of those, then what are you even doing? How do you think you're even serious? How are you going to get results if you don't even know any of those things? And that doesn't even take into account how to run your mind, how to program yourself. So, yeah, Queen Victoria says, truly, that's all it is. People fear change. This is true, right? There's a great saying, people prefer a known hell to an unknown heaven. True story. And it's because our brain is designed to do the same things over and over and over and over and over again. Your brain doesn't want to do new things. No, it doesn't. It wants to conserve as much energy as possible. And the easiest way to do that, keep doing what we've been doing. So it's, yeah, the change part is absolutely true. Totally true. Yeah, John says, it's been a while since I've seen you live for over 2 hours. Thanks for all your help and commitment. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I thought I'd pop on here for a couple hours today. And probably winding down now. But again, anyone here that if you're not in my world, please click the link in my bio, get the free hypnosis session that I give you, watch the video I made for you. If you're really serious, there is Program Yourself Thin, and you can go to programyourselfthin.com and check it out. Special pricing. It will not be this price again. You can get started with just the hypnosis program for $100. You can get the whole mastery program for $300 and everything else that includes. It's pretty awesome. So you should all check it out if you want to. Program Yourself Thin. That's right. Katie's taking all her holiday stuff down. I know. I was thinking about that. I will not be taking my holiday stuff down until I get back from vacation. I usually leave it up a while anyways. I'm kind of lame like that. I leave my stuff up way too long, I think. But anyways, all right, everyone. Well, it's been a pleasure. I wish you all the best a new year, and I wish you all the best. So yeah, have a super duper day. I hope you have a great great start to the new year. Again, if you are not in my world, please make sure you get on my email list. And you get on my email list by signing up for that hypnosis session. Listen to it, start the year off relaxed, calm, motivated, focused, all the rest of it. If you are considering a coaching program that I offer or a program, I would suggest starting it today, because then you can tap into the commitment principle, which where you can say every day of the year, I was committed and focused on my weight mastery. So if you can do it, do it. Because you get a little extra benefit out if you start it today. 2025 year could be the year of your weight mastery. And that's how you get the value out of it, is not by being perfect, but by making a commitment that's going to keep you in the game. That's the secret. It's not about being perfect. It's about being there. It's about being in the game. And we are in the game more when we made a commitment to it outside of ourselves. And we wouldn't just commit based on our moods. So that's the biggest piece of advice I can give to you. All right. It's the biggest one. So, all right, everyone, have a happy new year. And thank you very much for listening. And I'll talk soon. Bye.